it is given in the case study that the EBITDA of this company for the year 1920 was 1000, and it is going to increase every year at the rate of 12% for next 7 years, which is the explicit forecast period. And thereafter, from the thereafter the it will normalize, and it would grow at the rate of 5%. So what I have done, I have already worked it out for you, and as you can see it, so this is going to be your EBITDA for the first 7 years, and this is going to be your EBITDA. The last column that you see on the screen is going to be your EBITDA for the terminal year, and which is, as you can see, is 2321. It is increasing by 5%. Okay. Depreciation, it is given in the case study already. I'm sure all of you would have noticed it. The value of the non-current assets as of the close of the year is 4000 crore to depreciate over a period of 10 years, and therefore my depreciation for all these years is going to be 400, 400, 400, as you can see it on the screen. This gives me my EBITDA. This gives me my EBITDA, as you can see on the screen. Now, the debt in case of this company is 500 crore, and it is said that the payment is going to happen in 2030, and the rate of interest is 7%. So therefore 7% of 5%, 500 crore, becomes 35. So this is how I am getting the interest in my computation of profitability. When I minus the interest from the EBIT, I will get my EBT, which is in front of you. And when I my tax rate is 25%, so I apply the tax rate of 25% to the EBT, and I get my tax, as you can see on the screen. And this is how in the line number 12 you can see I am getting my net income or net profit or profit after tax or EAT or whatever you may call it actually.
So little one question, sir.
Yeah, yeah, yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sir,
Yeah, yes,
sir,
Ankit.
as yesterday you were saying, sir, the tax component will be considered an interest. So today, sir, what we did, sir?
Okay.
This is the first part. That comes in the second or third part.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and Ankit, one more thing. One more thing. What we spoke yesterday was in the context of free cash flow to firm.
This is equity.
And what we are doing now is cash flow for equity.
Yes, sir.
And,
Definitely.
and Ankit, I am purposely telling this so that you have a clarity, because this is an area where most people have a confusion. So the adjustment that we spoke yesterday was in the context of FCFF. Now we are at FCFE. That adjustment is not required in case of FCFE. That adjustment is required in case of FCFF. That is case study number 5. We are now at the case study number 6. Does it make sense to you, Ankit?
Sir, yes,
Okay,
yes,
good.
yes.
Okay, fantastic. Right. So now we come to the computation of now. This is what you will always notice, that this error, I don't know how does it come in. So I'm going to change it to, and whenever you please notice, ask me to correct it and I'll correct it. So Devang, am I right? This should be FCFE.
Yeah.
Sanjay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm making that change.
Correct, sir.
Okay, good. All right. So now I'm computing my free cash flow for equity. Free cash flow for equity. So where do I start it from? I started from my net income. As I'm sure you will recollect the formula that you have. To the net income, I will add my NCC. NCC means non-cash cost. Sometimes you also call it as NCE. NC is non-cash expense. So I will add the depreciation back, and now what I will do, I will minus change in the working capital in case if the working capital is increasing. Please remember and make a note, all of you. If the working capital is increasing, you will minus it. If working capital is decreasing, by whatever amount it is decreasing, you will add it back. And I hope you understand the reason and logic behind this. Everyone? Surya? Surya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Varun? Okay, good. All right. So now in this case, it has been given that the working capital on 31st March 2020 was 100 crore, and it is given in the case study that it is going to increase by 5% every year for next 7 years. And that is how you can see I have minused this increase in the working capital for all the 7 years. Now what I will need to do here, I will need to take this figure. Is that right? Okay. So
This is up to only this year, na? Say, 26, 27. For terminal period, it is 0.
is zero, na Sanjay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent, excellent. I deliberately did it just to know how alert you people are at this moment, because it is 10 past. So good, good. I'm glad that all of you quickly responded. Okay, now in this case, all of you, there is no capex. Therefore, I am taking the figure to be 0. If there was to be capex, then you will minus that figure. And here I am getting my FCFE. Everybody, is that right? Ritesh, is it right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Venkat, Surya.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, good.
Go ahead.
Okay, very good, very good. Now this is my cash flow for the cursor. You can see this is my cash flow for the terminal year. Now what I need to do, I need to convert this cash flow of the terminal year in terms of the cash flow for the terminal period. And how do I convert this cash flow of how do I do it? I will convert this cash flow of the terminal year into cash flow for the terminal period by dividing this amount by what, everybody?
12.5 minus 5.
Absolutely. So my cost of equity is 12.
Let's take it.
Yeah.
It was a different figure.
No, is it 12.5?
No, now you have changed it. Previously it was different.
Yeah, correct. I know. So are you getting the same figure, Devan?
It's right.
Oh, good, very good. And Sanjay?
Yes, sir. Same figure.
And I hope everybody who has done it is getting the same figure.
Exactly same figure.
Excellent. Okay. So now in line number 33, I am putting my cash FCFE. Ankit, have you done it? Have you solved this already?
Yes, sir. Sir, I got 100%, sir. Previous example.
Huh.
Sir, this example I will say definitely by tomorrow, sir, on Sunday.
Okay, very good.
From my hand, sir.
Good, very good.
I'm completely understanding, sir.
Good, very good. So this is my amount of FCFE, and now I will find out my discounting period, and my discounting period is 1.125. And so are you all getting the same discounting figure, Devang?
Yeah.
Correct, sir.
Surya, last one also?
Yes, sir.
Last one also. And I'm sure, friends, all of you, without any exception, will remember for whole of your life that for discounting the cash flow of the terminal period, you will use the discounting factor which is of
Previously.
Last year.
absolutely fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Okay, now present value of FCFE is coming, as you can see on the screen. Devang, are these
Terminal value once again.
okay? So this is my cash flow for the
Just show the cursor on the formula. I just have to check out where the arrow.
yeah, okay. Here it is, Ritesh.
Okay, fine. Come on, this side. Fine.
Sorry, Kamal. Kamal, your voice and Ritesh's voice, I get slightly confused actually. Okay, sorry, Kamal. Okay, all right. So, yeah, all right. So, and this is my present value of FCFE.
Right.
Okay, and this is for the where you see the cursor. This is the present value of the terminal period cash flow, and this 5,463.26 is the present value of the explicit forecast period. Everybody?
Right.
Absolutely. Can I move forward? Sanjay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ankit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Varun? Surya? Kamal? Okay, good, very good. And this is, how you would find out your CAPM, your cost of equity. Now, Ankit, you had asked me a question as to give you a practical example as to how to use DLOM and DLOC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so Ankit, you know what you will do? The DLOM, you know what is DLOM?
Yes, sir.
It is discount
Discount.
for lack of marketing, right?
Yes, sir.
And what is DLOC? It is discount for
Discount,
lack of control. Now, how there are two ways in which you can incorporate it. Number one, you can adjust the CAPM. Let's say for example, both the buyer and the seller agree for a discount of 5% on account of DLOC or on account of a DLOM. So what you will do, this 12.5% that you have here, you will add 5% to this and it will become 17.5%. That means you will find out your DCF based on 17.5% and not 12.5% in case there is an agreement between the buyer and the seller for a DLOM or DLOC of 5%. And remember, this is all a matter of negotiation between the parties concerned. What rate they agree to, what the rate they do not agree to, it is up to them to decide. Yes, Anil? Okay.
Yes, sir. And the control premium, sir, is also we have to add, sir.
Okay.
After
Deductor we should add.
Yes, that's a good point, Venkat. I think you should answer that. So, should you add it or should you reduce it?
Because there is no market, the cost of equity will be more costly for me.
Yeah,
Whereas the seller, it will be more profitable. So I have to reduce it.
absolutely. So, Ankit, remember, if it is
Additional investment I should make, I should recover from the seller.
absolutely. So, Ankit, remember, and all of you, please, that's a good point, and all of you should remember, if it is discount, then you will add it. So your cost of capital will increase by the discount. If it is premium for control or control premium, then you will minus the control premium from the cost of capital. So this is how it should be. Ankit, I hope it's clear to you.
yes, sir. Yes,
Sanjay?
yes, sir.
Sanjay?
Sir, it is clear.
Yeah.
If it DLOC, then it will be reduced, no?
Yes.
It will be added, no?
Yes. Sanjay, just remember the principle. If it is discount, it will be reduced. If it is premium, it will be added. Oh, sorry. If it is other way around, if it is a discount, you will add it. If it is premium, you will minus it.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Okay. Good. Good. Good.
It means कि we have to pay half.
Yes. Correct. Correct. If there is a lack of marketability or control, that means I am at a disadvantage as a buyer. Since I am at a disadvantage as a buyer, I should be compensated. How should I be compensated? I should be compensated by way of a DLOM or DLOC. So I should be given some discount on account of DLOC or some discount on account of DLOM. How do I get that discount? I will get the discount by adding the percentage to the cost of capital. Please pay attention and just understand it. What is the consequence of adding the discount to the cost of capital? What is the impact? What is the impact of adding the cost, discount to the cost of capital? My cash flows will come down.
Cost.
My present value will,
Increase.
yeah, cost, yeah. Okay, so my
Minority, in case of minority share purchasing, if company is going to purchase minority share, then the same thing applies.
Right. Yep.
In your cost of equity, just add 2% minus 2%, you will get the answer.
Absolutely, Devang. Absolutely. And that is what,
If you add it, the cost of equity comes down.
if you add the discount to the cost of equity,
The cash flow will come down.
cash flow, present value of cash flow will come down. Cash flow will remain the same.
Seller will get less money.
Remember, cash flow will remain the same. Cash flow will not change. The present value of the cash flow will go down.
Lower money.
Yeah. But seller will get less money.
Yeah, the value will go down.
Yes, value will go down. Correct. And that is the meaning of discount.
Yeah.
That is the meaning of discount.
So when you add the cost of capital goes up, the value will come down.
Absolutely. And vice versa.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
And 1 minute more, sir. Only 1 minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the today WhatsApp, sir, you put 10 MCQs, out of which, sir, everyone has a different among all.
Huh.
2 or 3 MCQs from all the 10s, everyone has a different answer. Sir, only concentrate within a 1 minute, sir, or 2 or 3 MCQs which have different answers of all. Sir.
No, Ankit, see, this is where you go wrong. And as your elder, I am telling you, never deviate. Remain focused. Where are we now? We are discussing the case study. Focus on the case study first. Take the MCQs later. And that you must learn, Ankit, forever.
Because, sir, today is the last day. That is why, sir. Otherwise, no problem.
Today is the last day of the class, Ankit. But
Yeah, sir,
we have a full life ahead of us, so don't worry. I am there with you. I see.
Thanks, sir.
Ankit, I am there with every one of you to help you. So don't worry and remain focused because
So nice of you, sir.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
nice.
Okay. Good. All right, friends. So now, yes, Anil.
Instead of doing the adjustment in the cost of equity,
Yeah.
can we also do in the final value of the equity which is coming?
Precisely, that is what I mentioned in the beginning, that adjustment for the DLOM and DLOC can be made in two ways. Number one, it can be adjusted into the discount rate, and number two, it can be done at the final price. So final valuation, whatever it come, the buyer and the seller sit together and they decide, okay, this is the value coming, but since there is a lack of control, since there is a lack of marketing, I will like to have so much of discount. And they agree, and the final value is brought down by, see, that is what is negotiation is all about.
So in case of control premium, the value will go down, and in case of discount, it will go up.
Other way around.
Acha, okay. In case of discount, it will go. Okay.
Yes. See, since you are getting control, you are getting additional benefit. Since you are getting additional benefit, you should be prepared to pay additionally.
Sir, you have mentioned valuation date at 1st April 2020.
Right.
Whether
no, sir.
Okay, can you please repeat, Surya?
No, your question
Yeah.
mentioned you can assume the valuation date as 1st April 2020.
Right.
So are you referring the COVID impact? No, sir.
Surya, I wish COVID impact. Let us first understand the normal impact, and once we understand the normal impact, then we'll come to the COVID impact. No, I'm not. No, COVID is not here in this working, Surya, because then it will be a different ball game altogether, and we will have to have a separate session, separate training program for that. So no, it is just plain simple vanilla situation, Surya, because my objective at this point in time is to make things simple for you, not complicate. Because if I complicate them, it unnecessarily will dishearten you, and I don't want that to happen. So no COVID impact here. It is plain vanilla simple case actually.
Got it.
Yep. All right. Good. Very good, friend. So let's come down. So this is how you computed your cost of equity using the CAPM. And now what you do? So this is your figure or sum of present value of the explicit period. This is the figure of your sum of your PV of your terminal period cash flow. And then these are the adjustments. Remember, you always have to make this adjustment. Anil, in the case of subsidiaries, this is how you will make the adjustment of the holding company valuation. Are you with me?
Sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, good. So now we first make the adjustment for the vacant land, which is in the books worth 100 crore and the market value is 300 crore. So we will add 300 crore. The company also has marketable securities of 200 crore and the market value of those securities is 400 crore. So we are adding 400 crore. And then company also has a surplus cash. And I had explained it much in detail some time back as to why the surplus cash has to be added. But for the same logic as the vacant plot is being added, surplus cash is not contributing anything to the operations. So and it is not getting factored into the DCF. But it is available, so it has to be added. So what we do, we add all these three assets and we get the equity value, which is, as you can see on the screen. Devang, same number are you getting? Are you getting same number?
Same, exactly same.
Oh, fantastic. And Sanjay?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, very good. And then we come to how do we calculate value per share? So we take the equity share capital, which is 500, and face value is 5 rupees, which is given in the case, and number of equity shares becomes 100, and so you divide the equity value by the number of shares and you get the value per equity share, which is 173.72. So friends, this is how you will use the discounted cash flow using the FCFE to arrive at valuation of the entity.
I think this net worth is given. Now only the change of the question, instead of equity, it has used the net worth.
Yeah, see, देखो Sanjay, I have to prepare you for many contingencies. So we have to be clear that net worth is same as equity. And remember, equity is net, not same as equity share capital.
Yeah.
I have one request.
Yes, Venkat, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm seeing in this book case study 2, case study 3, case study 6.
Huh.
You make this book final and add all the case studies into this workbook itself and send it to us.
It's already there.
It's already there.
I'm sorry, I am able to read only 2, 3 and 6.
No, Venkat is
And the title.
is
Everything is being added in the same workbook.
yeah.
Okay.
It is there already there. Is there.
Okay.
Okay, friends. So with this, we come to the end of this working also, and I would like to thank all of you for your very active participation in this whole program. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the very best for the grand success in your exam. I am sure all of you will pass this exam in the very first attempt of yours. Thank you so much and wish you all the very best.